Hey, you're kicking it with Brother Smalls, and I'm here with Torey Thomas, a 14-year professional basketball player internationally. He's been around the world and back. Hey, Torey, what's going on, man?
Thanks for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure, man. When I saw you, the last time I saw you, you were at a summer league game in White Plains, man, and I saw you just dropping jewels to a lot of the youth. Is that something that just near and dear to you, the young people?
Yeah, definitely near and dear to me. I was a youth at one time that, needed some guidance, needed jewels. So anytime I get a chance to come out there and discuss anything with them, not just about basketball, but about life and some of my experiences, I welcome more questions and I enjoy it. It's really a passion to be able to speak to them and see them transform.
No, that's what's up. When I spoke to you, you were really talking about curbing violence and curbing different things that are going on in the community and making sure that young people had a different outlook about themselves. Tell us about. I mean, again, you're a 14-year international professional basketball player. That is no small feat. Um, tell us about that your experience playing professionally.
Yeah, so like I said, 14 years. Hopefully, I might be able to go back for 15. But the experience was a lot of steps, to be able to make it, to be able to play pro for 1 year. Now I look back and it's 14 years, and I just think about all the places I've been, all the people I've met, and every time I was able to come back home, what I have evolved to become and what I have brought to the table to my community and in communities in other countries as well. That who I am as a man has been brought to different places of the world. So I'm
Sure.
very
Where did you play?
Oh yeah, so I played mostly in my whole career was played in Europe. So Europe. So if I go down the line, it was from Sweden to Holland to Poland to Russia to Serbia to Italy to Turkey to France, yeah, to Dominican Republic to Venezuela. So I played in those countries, but been in over 50 countries.
Well, that's amazing, man. And how did you go about it? Now, the language
Mhm.
issue, playing conditions an issue, contract an issue. I mean, it's very, very difficult to play any league 14 years, but you played internationally 14 years. I mean, tell us about the challenges of playing internationally.
Yeah, so I would say like the major challenge is being able to get over there and not be homesick. That's like one of the main challenges. You get over there, it's a culture shock, different languages, different foods, different people, different customs, different culture. So that means that you have to adapt to all of these things in an instant because at this time you're actually over there for a job. So if you don't adapt to your job, you could get sent right back home, right back to America. So that's what makes it the most difficult.
No, actually, that's what I've heard is that you gotta instantly make a difference and make an impact. So I've heard people like saying, "Hey, as soon as you get off the plane, you might have a game and you have to rock out that day."
Yes, that happens. As soon as you get off the plane, it could be a game or it could be a tough practice. And you just got to be acclimated, but you also got to like have your head on steady to be like, all right, I'm here for a job. Some stuff is going to be tough, but your character and who you are can shine. So you can have bad days, but if they know you're a good person and that you're working hard and you want to do what's best for the team, then, they'll keep you. But sometimes they could be cutthroat. It's a real business. It's one of the toughest business that people could imagine because it is not so guaranteed. Some stuff is guaranteed, but some stuff isn't guaranteed. And if you don't have the right temperament, the right head on your shoulders, the right maturity, it will be very difficult. You could have all of that I said and still not pan out because something went wrong out of your control.
No, that's what I hear. Out of your control, politics, somebody didn't like you, you didn't, all those different things line up. Now, you talked about again your mentality. Where did you get that mentality to deal with the rigors of playing internationally for 14 years?
I think it would have probably started from like how I was raised. I was born on Ferris Avenue. in White Plains, the street that you see me on when we was at that park.
Yes, sir.
Um, it was like a community raised situation. So my mom gave me a lot of like little freedom. I had independence as a young age. So I was able in 8th grade to make a decision not to go to White Plains High, but to go to Trinity Catholic in Stanford. So in that mindset and that switch, that showed me that I was on my own to go to this school. None of my friends went. I went by myself. I got up 6 in the morning, took the public I bus to Stanford, Connecticut, got a shuttle into the school, and that was my day. So my day started way differently than a regular kid's day who jumps on a bus, gets to school in 10 minutes, and they're in their comfort zone. I was out of my comfort zone since 14 years old, and I learned a lot from being out of my comfort zone. And that's probably why I was able to adapt to the rigors and different stresses and triumphs of being overseas and being a basketball player. But I was prepared from early. So I would say about 14 years old helped me from them years on to prepare for that.
No, I was watching something where your college coach from Holy Cross said, because of your work ethic and what you actually did to even get to school, told him a lot about you.
Right. That's right. So that was a big deal. Like, I played pretty well in high school, so I'm not gonna like sugarcoat that. So I wasn't a great player, but I was a good player. Ended up winning a lot of games in high school. Solid point guard, but I didn't have a lot of offers. I had a few offers. So that story about Coach Ralph Willard talking about that, where he met me in the classroom at school at Trinity, and we talked. You know, and that was the biggest thing is we spoke, and he got a chance to see who Torey Thomas the person was, not just the
Mm.
player. So he was sold on the person. So if he brought the person in, he knew that if I continue the same work ethic and he can help me tool my game, that we could have a special player here. And that's what made it a complete marriage between me and Ralph Willard and Holy Cross College. So it all came down to him speaking and understanding who I was and my character as a man, as a young.
That's huge because a lot of young people don't understand that it's not just how nice you are on the court, it's the whole package, and especially when you have so many people that are vying for the same position.
That's a fact. It's so much. You know how many great basketball players there's? Good, great, whatever you want to call it. There's levels to it, and you're fortunate to play college basketball, period, or college sports. But to play Division 1, it's another level. And then you start understanding it once you get on the court with others. Once you understand what it takes to actually get put on the court, that's the key. What
Mhm.
does it? What steps do you take? How, even when you fail, you could be working as hard as you could work and you still might fail. Whether it's in practice, whether it's in a game, whether it's losing the game, whether, whatever it is. But if you continue to have your mind straight, you have good faith, good support system. That's the keys to this. Faith, you believe you. So God gave you this talent. What do you believe in? Do you believe in yourself? Give
That's right.
glory to God. That's how I live. So that's part of why I was able to be successful.
Yeah, and also as I look at your game, there's a bit of scrappiness to your game, like a lot of fight. Now, you're listed at 5'10", right?
Right.
Does did your stature have something to do with your scrappiness as well?
Yeah, definitely being a smaller guard, I knew that I had to mix it up. In order to get on the floor, you got to be one of the toughest people on the floor. You're playing against bigger point guards, big men. I will go get a rebound. I'll get a steal. I'll stick my nose in there. Scrappy, right word. Scrappy in a dog fight. So you knew that you were up against that if you played against me. So
No, for real, for real. No, no, no. I saw a game actually where you scored 14 points in 4 minutes. Talk about that and talk about being in the zone.
yeah, so I was locked in. I was at Partizan, which is a major EuroLeague team out in Belgrade, Serbia. So Partizan is a big time team, and I was able to play point guard with guys that played in the NBA, like Bogdan Bogdanovic, Daris Bertans, Nikola Mulatinov, guys all from Serbia. I was able to play with them. So it was a game against Krka. Their team is from Slovenia, and I was just locked in. They'll let me play my game, be the point
Mhm.
guard. But when you see as a point guard, when you see you're going, you could take the lead. You know what I mean? Most of the time, I used to get everybody involved, which is always my job. But
Mhm.
sometimes I hot. So just being hot like that, it was special because I was able to do it on a grand stage like that.
Gotcha. Now, for people that don't play ball, being in the zone is how would you describe it, Torey, about being in the zone?
Locked in, whatever you putting up at the basket, you feel like it's gonna go in. It's like
That's
they
right.
say, it's like shooting at an ocean. You know what I mean? So you're gonna
Buckets. I mean, if you see this tape, I mean, it was just buckets, buckets,
shoot.
buckets. Didn't matter where he was shooting from. You know, it was just buckets, almost like a video game. He was lights out. He was definitely in a zone. Um, Talking about playing internationally, a lot of players have the thought, "Hey, I'm gonna play internationally for a couple years, and I'm gonna try to break into the NBA." Was that your thought as well?
I would love to because I had tryouts back again after I played a few years internationally. I got called back by the New York Knicks a couple times, and I was able to play in their free agent camps. So I had a taste of what that is to go overseas, play well. They come back, they call you, Torey, are you ready to come play? This is a workout, this is a tryout. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to make a team, but I was there, and I could go into the facility right now. I have the respect. At that time, the GM was Glenn Grunwald.
Mhm.
The president was Isaiah Thomas at the time of the Knicks, and the coach was D'Antoni, and we had that. So once I got in, it was really good, like because I was able to showcase myself at an even higher level, and it was one of the things where your dream doesn't die just because you go overseas and you're like, oh well, no, it doesn't. A lot of guys from overseas make it pro, make it to the NBA, I should say. Pro, when you get overseas, that's pro, but the hardest league to get into is the NBA. So every time you get a chance to do or work out with players of that caliber, you take every opportunity.
Wow, no, it's great that you had that experience. And again, a 14-year professional, internationally, and also tried out for teams here in the NBA. I think that's something exceptional. Not many people can say I've been on the same court with professional basketball players, whether they played in the NBA or they
Right.
played internationally. So, salute to you
Thank
regarding that. You mentioned you talk about your journey. You're an author, right?
you. Right.
Tell us about that.
So I wrote a book. I think around like 2016. I'll get it. It's called "I Aspire to Inspire." It's about my basketball journey, but it starts from when I was a young kid and what created this path to my journey and what steps I had to take, the people that influenced me. Just a nice little, 100 couple pages read of just getting an insight on what it took, what obstacles I faced in my journey to become a basketball player and a person that's a community activist, somebody that cares about the youth, starting youth programs and helping people around the way that I see that I can make an impact with. So that's what the story is about. That's what the book is about. The book is still unfinished because my chapters are not finished in my life, but I wanted to give an insight on what it took to get to this stage in my life to be where I am.
Got it. All right. So you have a young man. Let's just say he's getting ready to go into high school, or he's in high school. What do you tell him about his process? What jewels do you kind of and insight do you give him? If he wants to play basketball.
Yeah, well, the first thing I would tell him is just be prepared for all situations. I would tell them sit in the front of the class and pay attention. Get your grades right. Make sure you never have them tell you, "Well, I like him, but I can't give him a scholarship because he doesn't meet the clearinghouse, right? He doesn't meet the grade academic level." And that's a devastating blow that you don't have to really deal with. You get help at the end of the classes. So I'm talking strictly academics in the beginning.
Yes,
Because
sir.
once you get the academics correct, basketball falls into place because you never have to question, well, is he qualified? Does he have the right GPA? What is his grades like? And I didn't want to have to ever deal with that. So I made sure that was a priority. Basketball had to take care of itself, but I took care of what I could control, which is my academics.
No, that's really great advice. Take care of what you can control, and you can control whether or not you're going to classes, whether or not you're doing assignments, whether or not you're doing your projects. You can
Right.
control that. No, that's great advice. I saw something where you wrote pride is nothing, integrity is everything.
Hmm.
What, tell us about that
Right.
quote.
So I mean, we all gonna be proud in situations, and we got to really look in the mirror because pride breaks a lot of people down.
Mhm.
It would be because our pride why we don't get to our fullest potential. But integrity, which comes in inside of you when you know, wow, I had to put my pride to the side, and I had to be the bigger man, or I had to do the right thing that normally could have hurt me. That
Mm.
normally could have hurt me, and it could have, but I did the right thing, and that's when integrity comes out. That's when you say, well, this guy is a man of integrity or a woman of integrity because they put their pride to the side and made the right choice, regardless of how they felt, embarrassed, angered, upset, frustrated.
Yeah.
They didn't let that emotion deter them for what was really right in their situation. So that's where integrity comes from.
Yeah, that integrity, man, is the long game. That integrity is something that will always be with you, and it's something that you definitely have to you hold dearly. Your integrity, your word, and I want to again thank you, man. I'm not going to tell everybody all the things that you're working on and doing, man, but you kind of said, hey, oh, I'm gonna sit down with you, and I do appreciate you spending
Thank you.
some time with me, man. I
Yeah.
also was when I was looking at something, I marveled at something, man. You're affiliated with pro basketball ownership, right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I
Yeah.
put a team called the New York Generals. I ended up creating this out of a whim because a guy named Chris Terrell was an overseas coach. He started a whole league called the Pro Basketball Association. And
Mhm.
my whole objective was to help guys get overseas. They needed a look. They needed a team. They needed game film. They needed to play in a league. So all my objective was to try to bring that together. So that's where the New York Generals came to be, where we got a team together and we play against other teams and we could get them game film. We could show them what a professional looks like, what real game film looks like, how it's supposed to be. So that's my whole thing with that. It was just to try to help because I've been there where you might not get a look, you might not get something, you might not play good in college, and now you're looking for a second chance. This is what it's for. Or you play good in college and still didn't get the chance you wanted. That's what the Pro Basketball Association League and New York Generals was set for.
Got it. Got it. Got it. No, interesting. When I speak to professional athletes, I'm always intrigued about their process of knowing that they're playing professionally, but they know that they're not going to be playing forever, and they're planning um, to do other things. Talk to us about your process. I know you're still looking to play
Yeah.
professionally, but talk to us about the process of you know recognizing that I might have a 14-year career, 18-year career, what have you, but at some point I'm gonna have to switch it up.
Yes. So basically, that's been the process for me for this last year since I've been out. Um, I had to really figure out what I really want to, accomplish. I've been doing things to be in a position,
Mhm.
but that transition is probably the hardest thing in sports for me in life because you've been doing this since I was 9 years old at a high level, and now you got to call it quits where you don't run out on the you don't run out in the stadium. You don't run out on the court anymore. The name ain't on the back of your jersey no more. The fans aren't there no more. The same way you love and enjoy competing is not there anymore in the way you want. So yeah, you have to try to start making the transition slowly and urgently that you can make all the way so you can, feel comfortable because the decision is hard no matter what.
No, I mean you see it all the time. You see it all the time in all different sports, and some sports are more cruel than others as far as when you lose a step, it's like a parent, But no, I'm glad that you said that. One of the things that I do on a regular basis, I help people to discover their purpose and pursue their plans and goals with passion, and a large part of your who you are as a person was a baller. Like I'm a baller, and so how, what else do you kind of, I mean, what did you do to kind of find out, Oh, I am also good at this. Also
Right.
good at that. What process did you
Well, I knew
use?
that I knew a baller was something that I do and I love, but it doesn't define me. I
Yes,
let
sir.
that know early because you could be one track minded, and if ball don't work out, then what are you? You still Torey Thomas, the person that has a brain that could become a lawyer, that could become anything you wanted to become. You
Right.
still got to keep that mind. Well, I turned into an entrepreneur and I started opening various businesses that I took chances on. I took losses. I gave it my all. I learned. I got almost an MBA in anything I wanted to do, whether it was a restaurant,
Mhm.
car dealership. I just tried my hand in different things that I knew that if I can learn these things, you don't have to go to school to learn these things. You got to really be in it, immerse
Sure.
yourself, and also turn off that I'm just a baller. That's just one track minded, and that ends quick. I have another life, God willing, that's going to be way longer than my basketball career would be.
Right.
So I have to remember that if that's my plan and my purpose, and God wants me on this earth for longer than I was now, I have to know that I have to be able to transition to do other things. And it starts way before you hang off the sneakers. You got to start thinking about it and do that before.
No, that's good instruction and advice there. Purpose is at the intersection of your proficiency, what you really do well, and your passion. And so what you're very passionate about and what you do very well, oftentimes your purpose is in line there. And when you start to understand your purpose, things become a little easier for you. You know what I'm saying? So just to share,
Mhm.
my purpose is to inform, uplift, elevate, and inspire. So in all my jobs, everything that I did, it was all about informing, uplifting, elevating, and inspiring. So I wrote a book. I was whatever it was, it kind of lined up with that. And so when you understand your purpose, it kind of helps you to kind of define what you want to do and where you want to be. And what I've seen in you, just from watching you from afar, is you have a passion for people. You have a passion for community. I mean, because you've been so successful, you didn't necessarily have to come back to White Plains. You didn't have to come back to Ferris Avenue. You didn't have to come, be at the summer leagues. You know, that's very powerful. That's
Mhm.
very, very powerful, man. That's very powerful.
Thank you.
And
I
so,
appreciate
yeah, man. No, no, no. So, what's next? What's next for Torey Thomas?
it. Yeah, so right now, I did get a call over the past couple of days about possibly playing for my 15th season in Europe, so possibly in France, a few other others. So this is just came through the wire. So you're one of the first people that's what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Okay.
I.
So,
Yeah,
yes, so
that's huge.
that's what's next. But then I'm in the transition period of what I want to do. I have an event space that I really want to tackle,
Mhm.
um, a used car dealership. So business parts are really gonna have to follow through. And then what I want to do is a consultancy and like management of the NIL, which is the name, image, and likeness for the kids.
Oh,
It's
yes,
going to be
sir.
called So Raspy Sports after Jada Kiss.
Yes, sir.
My main man we coach, and a guy named Brian Harrington who's in with it. So we want to be able to help young kids in their pursuit of their career and show them that they could become a business entity. They can
Yes.
get different deals, just more like guidance in that realm, because a lot of people have got this thing thrown out there but don't know how to use it. So we want to be that vehicle on how to drive.
You know what? That's needed. That's so needed. And by all means, man, when you're ready, and you want to really talk about that next level, whether it be you're another a year professionally, or what you're doing with the NIL, please, come back and speak with me, man, because it's huge what you're
Definitely.
doing, and it's needed.
Definitely.
It's
We
needed.
have a
It's needed.
real understanding of what we would like to present to kids that
Sure.
has a real foundation for them to help them, instead of people just trying to take from them, using what they got and then bringing it. We want to really cultivate a good lessons for you that I already been through without having an NIL. I understand it because I was an athlete at that age that didn't have no money, but they should have been giving us something, right? So now that they could get something, let's
Right.
figure out the right way to make it happen.
Wow, the perspective. I mean, that and you think about all the things that you've been through that have kind of like helped to prepare you for what you're doing now.
Yeah.
The struggle, that's another question I wanted to ask you. Has it always been, a struggle in the sense of, going uphill, because of your stature?
Yeah.
Because I mean, has
Granted.
it always been like that?
Always. I never people that still to this day don't believe, oh, you play basketball until they see the clips, till they Google. The best part about for me, the internet is a gift of curse for a lot of people because everything comes up. So if they
Yeah.
did anything bad back in the day, it flags them. They
Yeah.
might lose a job. So I feel bad for people that really change their lives, but they got to go through that.
Yeah.
For me, it's been positive because they could click up where I've been, what I've done, every step of the way you could see. So there's nothing that I could tell you that you can't look up yourself and you see that it's for real.
For
Instead of
real,
me
for real.
telling you stories and it's like, oh, he's just talking,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
most
yeah.
people, you know, it's the like as in, Missouri says, the show me state.
Yes,
I'm the
sir.
show me person for real.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
That's
I
right.
break my steps. And I say this in the most humble way because I put the work in.
It is what it
So
is. It is what it
yeah, I
is.
put the work in.
No, it is what it is. I work out, but it's interesting. I see you work out, and I mean, I do the pull-up bar, but you do the pull-up bar. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at your videos doing the pull-up bar, I'm like, okay, all right, that's gonna take me a couple more months. You know what I mean, to get there. But
That-
man, you put in the work.
yes.
You put in the work, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I know you got a big night, man. I just wanted to also give you an opportunity to share anything else with our
Yeah.
viewership before our next time.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm definitely gonna come back because things are gonna be cultivated a little differently in the next few months, I believe, in my life. So I'm really gonna put that off. I really appreciate you coming. But the big night that I do want to speak to you about is Rescue. It's a all black owned in Scarsdale, doctors, nurses that gives you all the different treatments that you will want that you really couldn't get, like most sports athletes need to get, but the common person that isn't a sports athlete might need treatment on things. Rescue in Scarsdale, 111 Brook Street is where I'm going for the grand opening tonight. So I want to give them because I became an ambassador of their products
Yes.
and their grand openings today. And it's good for all of us to know that we have a place that we could go to that could help out. So even when you come back in town, I want to bring you over there.
No, definitely. And also, I will put their information, on this interview as well. Thank you for sharing that, man. I so appreciate your work ethic and what you're doing in the community, for the game, but also for our community. All the best to you, man. And this has been a great interview. Now, where do people continue to follow you if they wanted to
Yeah.
kind of follow you?
All right, so they can follow me on all my thing is Go Torey. So GOTOREY. That's Twitter, Instagram, Go Torey. Then I have gotorey.org, which is the organization where they
Mhm.
could help, they could get in tune, they could learn what we do, they could donate time, they could contact me directly, and my personal page is gotorey.net. So those are the easy ways to be able to contact me. I'm very accessible. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy connecting with people, and I enjoy doing things with people. And I just hope we keep striving for the best.
Now you guys heard it here. Go Torey. Go check out your guy Torey Thomas. He's doing big things. So glad that you were able to spend some time here kicking it with Brother Smalls. All right. Until the next time, guys. Smile and remember, every heartbeat is grace. Cherish life and spread love, y'all. Peace.
Peace, Brother Smalls. Thank you.
All right, bro.